Hey, it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. We've got a very interesting, exciting, personable guest for you today. He's my buddy, Joey Carvello. He's done so much in this music business, and I think you're going to love some of the stories he has. Really, really interesting. Let me just go real quick. I mean, he started off as a DJ, Billboard DJ of the Year. He's worked at several labels. He's worked like at Priority Records with Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. He's been a music director in Boston. Really, really great guy. And like I said, some really great stories. So there you go. Thank you. Cheryl Costello is sharing this for us. Very cool. Thank you. And this is actually my first show as an affiliate. So thank you all for listening and helping out with that. I really do appreciate it. So let me bring in Joey right now and we can get this show started. Hold on one second. Let me move the cursor over here. And here we go.
Hey,
Joey, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I gave you a little applause. Hopefully you heard.
Oh, thank you very much. I can't hear that enough. More.
More. Especially these days when we don't hear it enough, right?
I hear that. How are you, man?
Good. I've been good. How about yourself? What are you up to?
I'm about 6'3". There we go. So I need a little drummer in the background here.
So you're shrinking.
I hear you. Life is good. We're out here in Secaucus and we're playing it safe. And
good.
The family's out here. We got the pups and
Nice.
that's a small pod of friends that we associate with and being very careful as everybody else should.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I think a lot of people are, and that's a good thing. We're almost out of this thing, so let's not blow it now, you know?
I hear you.
Cool. So, Joey, I wanted to talk to you about a lot of things. You've been in this business for a long time, and you've kind of mentored a lot of the people that have come through the ranks over the years. But what I really want to know is, where did that love of music first come from? Do you remember, like, the early days? I mean, a lot of people was like high school. But
yeah, it was way before that, God.
Yeah.
I remember my earliest memory, a musical memory, is I remember going to my friend Dookie Albano's house in East Cambridge and hearing he had an older brother, probably. I was probably maybe 7 or 8 years old. I was probably 7 years old, 8 years old, and went up to his brother had a turntable and there was a record, and I said, boy, I never saw a small one like that. My parents had big ones, but I didn't even know what those were either. And he put on, it was Sherry by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Yeah, sure.
So that's my first musical memory, and that's not a bad one, especially being Italian.
Yeah.
And that's where it came. And then I couldn't wait to get home to listen to my parents' records, which were different, but they weren't that different. It was Tony Bennett, it was Frank Sinatra. They were singers. Frankie Valli was a singer.
Right.
It was rockier, but the one that I liked the most, my dad had an album by a group called the Ink Spots.
Okay.
And he had a thing called Shanty by the Ante. And I remember listening to this, and back then it was called race music. It wasn't called urban and black. It was called race music. And that was the one I just kept on going back. For some reason, I kept on going back to Johnny Mathis, the Ink Spots, Nat King Cole. And I loved Tony Bennett, but I kept on going back to those guys. And then I in the early 60s band the Supremes, Four Tops.
Right, all that stuff.
And that's what really got me. It was very, very tough for me to be like that where I lived, John. I grew up in East Cambridge in Boston.
Okay.
In the 60s, I would have to hide my Supremes Four Tops records,
Yeah.
My friends would call me the N-word digger. That's what they would call me. What are you, an N-word digger?
Yeah.
No, I just great songs and stuff. He goes, what the fuck, what about the Beach Boys? What about this? I love them too, but these. And so anyway, eventually I got out of East Cambridge, went to a disco for the first time in 1973 and found a whole group of other white people like me who love that music, who wasn't getting their ass kicked because they listened to it.
Right.
I walked into this place called Zelda's in 73. The first thing I hear is Soma Cosa by Mountain Gabango, which I never heard before. What do you think I did, John? I went fucking down. I couldn't get up because then it was Doing It to Death by the JBs. What the fuck is this? And it was cool again. It was Blue Magic. I was losing my fucking mind. I never heard those records before.
No.
And that was like I said, it was in a room full of people like me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Love that music. And and that's how it really started. I got into it and I needed a job, and it was 1973. There weren't were no disco DJs. There was no such thing as a
No.
disco DJ, you know. And there was a club, small club called Yesterdays. I was looking for a DJ. We taking auditions. And one of my friends, Carl Lupo, said, "Yo, get your ass off the futon. You can do this. You got the records. You know it. Go try out." So okay,
Right.
as long as you guys come and dance, I'll try it out. And I went and I tried out. I looked good. I had some records. My friend showed up. I got the gig, $15 a night.
Beautiful.
And that's how I started.
Wow, that's great.
In the Chemo Club in Chemo Square in Boston. You know?
So what were clubs like back then? I mean, because so your first job really in the music business was as a DJ.
Yes.
Okay. So what was it like to be a DJ back then, back in the, mid 70s?
Well, from like 73 to like 73, 74, 75, disco was a lifestyle. It wasn't even the music yet. And it was, the clubs were small. They were intimate, 200-300 people the max. There were some bigger ones, but most of the cool clubs that made a difference were small. You know, you had, and we, all of a sudden, like at 73, 74, 75, 75, all of a sudden, we're DJing it every night. We got big crowded. I worked 5 nights a week, and we were crowded 5 nights a week. It was just unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, it was, and everybody knew each other. And it was like if people would go to my club early, go to the next club, and then the people who went to that club early would come to my club late. And it was a rotation of people throughout the Kenmore Square area, up into in the Boston area, 4 or 5 clubs, rotated around, and we all knew each other. We had special nights, something for nothing nights, and we rig all the contests. And my cousin won every week. My cousin, that cash prize, my cousin won. One of my cousins won every week, that cash prize. We go out afterwards, but afterwards we'd eat late at a Greek place and go down to a Chinese food place. We all hung out together. We all lived in the same area together. We did everything together. It's like Goodfellas. It really was. It was a disco version of Goodfellas. There was no crimes. There was a lot of fucking, a lot of sucking. There was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of cocaine. There was a lot of fun. We were nocturnal, but we loved each other and we backed each other up. And that's how it was. And there were like 4 or 5 cliques. Instead of us interact, I had the best clique because I had interracial, and we had guys and girls, and it was just a clique of about 15 people that was amazing, that rotated, and we went everywhere. We bring people into our world. And that's what it was back then. And the music, I mean, it was just amazing. We used to have to go out and buy it until all of a sudden, like this is like a 75. Well, I see this guy come up to my booth, a little bit older guy, handsome guy, hair's nice. He's got the pinky ring. He's got the nice shirt. He's clean. He comes out to the booth. Smells good. He's got a stack of 45s. Mm-hmm. He says, "Hey, my name is Don DeLacy. I'm from RCA Records. This is my friend, Eddie O'Loughlin from Midland International Records.
Oh, wow.
Here's the new Carol Douglas. And by the way, if you want to meet her, this is Carol Douglas." Oh, what the fuck happened to this guy there? Carol fucking Midnight Level. Holy fucking shit. Who the fuck is this? And I was looking at this guy, and he's got the fucking drugs. He's got the pussy. He got it all. I'm going, I want to do that.
Right. That's where I want to be.
I want to fucking do that. And the record company started showing up. And then program director Sonny Joe White from WILD and other radio guys were showing up. All of a sudden, Turn the Beat Around is on the radio. RCA didn't work that fucking record. That just got on. How did that happen?
Wow.
There's this thing called a disco. And then in 76, boom. Love to Love You, Baby. Here's the truth, John. Yeah. Everything I say tonight is real and it happened.
Yeah.
Okay? So when Love to Love You, Baby came up, the average, we were about 126 beats per minute all night at that point. Okay. Yeah. They were all those up-tempo remakes of Babyface and that old Black Magic up-tempo. Then Love to Love You, Baby comes, boom, this down-tempo thing. And I just fucking loved it. I thought it was sexy. And eventually it kind of took off and got you, and you got into this groove. And, nobody was playing in Boston. And I didn't know Donna Summer was from Boston. I didn't know, because I knew who the Gaines sisters were, and I knew there was a Donna Gaines, but Donna Summer, who the fuck is this?
Right.
And I didn't recognize her on the album. I didn't recognize her. You know what I mean? She didn't look like that, but I knew her. And I kept on playing it. I kept on, John Luongo ran the record pool, and John's pushing it. We're trying to push it, and it's like 4 weeks go by, and nobody's really playing it. Then all of a sudden, it starts to get a little bit of playing. October '76, it started catching fire, and then Donna went out and did a club, visited all the clubs. And I remember she walked into my club, and she had all white with a white boa on the Spring Affair album. She has all white with the white boa. That's what she wore on the tour when she did the Love to Love You Baby tour, when she went to Club. And she was with Bruce. I became very close with Bruce. And she was so unknown that I had to introduce her as the Love to Love You Baby girl. And then after that, it really stuck. And I really got a lot of credit from Bruce and a lot of other people. So, Joey, you stuck with it. And the kid, that's another kid who stuck with it. He worked at Plato's Retreat. Oh, what's his name? Baco. Baco. He was one of the first guys to list it. And I'm in Disco Files. I was one of the first to list it, too. I mean, I've got 5 lists in Disco Files, too, by the way. That's a badge of honor. So, and that's when, and she took off, and that's when people said, this disco thing is fucking real. And that made us real incredible. That was the record that did it. And then just from there, it just took off. It just fucking flew. We ran the show. It was our thing. The record labels, they hated fucking disco, all the rock guys hated, but they had to come and suck our dicks. Right. I loved it. I got fucking more coming from here. I got hookers over here. I got test pressings out my ass. I couldn't do wrong. I need a Coke. Oh, hold on a second. Let me drive 30 miles. I'll go to the corner store and get you one. That's how strong we were. John Luongo ran the Boston family. We had Jimmy Stewart, Dana Jacobitis. We had Wendell Edmonds. We had Cosmo Wyatt. We had Stephen Burke. We had this tremendous, strong family, and we stuck together. Gay, straight, black, white, didn't make a difference. So we found if John said, after Love to You Baby, then John started making priorities. This is the record we're going to break. Gonzalez, haven't stopped dancing yet. Okay, this is the fucking one. I'm gonna go remix the Luongo setting. Got a 45. This needs a remix. I'm calling Capital. I'm gonna go remix this record. Okay. And that's how his first remix happened. Wow. And all those whistles you hear on it, that's Luongo doing it with his lips. He does it too in the Patti LaBelle record, Music is My Way of Life. The whistles in that, he mixed that. That's him too. Yeah, he was a mad scientist. That's a guy you got to talk to someday. You got to get Luongo. Yeah,
I'll get him on. That's for sure. I love these stories. Eddie O'Loughlin
actually tell shit about me that I can't tell you.
I bet. Eddie O'Loughlin actually once told me that he has a signed contract that Donna Summer was actually in Silver Convention.
Was it? See, listen, JP. I learn all the time. Yeah, I tell everybody that. Learn all. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. He says, I still have the contract.
Eddie O's DNA is all over disco, dance, and hip hop forever. Nobody understands it because of his personality, how quiet and unassuming he is. Yeah. The guy's and he's got more fucking money than all of them. Trust me, I tell you. I know, Eddie. I know you got fucking money, bro. You got mattresses full of it. And the nicest man, a true gentleman. I got to work with him, and I was an independent. And Say I'm Your Number One by Princessa, the very first record that Power 106 played when Jeff Wyatt became PD. It was in '89. Yep. That was what they played.
Actually, it was probably earlier than that. It was probably 87 or 88, right?
Maybe 88. Might have been 88.
Because I played it in college. And
whatever it was, it was the first record they played, but I was the indie, and I worked Jeff. Jeff was my music director. It was my APD when I was at KISS 108. Uh-huh. So, anyway.
That's pretty wild. Well, I keep telling Eddie he's got to write a book. I mean, he's got so many stories. Yeah. So I just got to go down this list because this is insane. The things that you've done. I mean, 1978 Billboard Disco DJ of the Year for Boston.
That was amazing. And Donna Summer gave me the award.
Did she really? Wow.
Yes, she did.
That's great. So you got into record promotion in '79 for Warner.
Yeah, Warner RFC. Change. Come on, Gino.
I know. Yeah.
Prince. Goddamn. Kissed him on the lips. How many guys can say that? Kissed him on the fucking lips. Ask out the Baker the story sometime. Yeah, baby.
That's great. So you went to Atlantic. You worked from Atlantic. Actually, you became the KISS music director in Boston.
Atlantic fired me. I broke priorities. I decided on my own to get dressed like an angel and go out and work this record that I found in a box in my office that Atlantic didn't talk to me about, called "Let Me Be Your Angel." So I like this record. All the other shit Atlantic had for me was crap. Fred Knobloch. I don't even want to work a fucking record with a guy with a name like that.
Knobloch.
I don't give a fuck how good it is. I can't say that name. I'm doing Carvello. What the fuck? Anyway, I go out and I dress up like I dress up like an angel, the wings, the whole bit. And the short version is I closed the entire fucking market. You know, even BCN gave me a paper ad because they loved it so much.
Right.
They've been going on as an angel. They ever played it. But anyway, so the following 2 days, and the record and it hit instantly. Like as soon as Sonny hit it in Boston, sales just exploded all over New England.
Wow.
The following week, I get a call Monday. I get a call from Vince Ferracci, Senior VP of Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to me, here's the deal. If you want to get records played that you like, you should get into radio. In fact, you should get into radio. You're fired. They fucking fired my ass.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went and saw Sonny.
Uh-huh.
And my friend Billy Costa was there. We grew up together. And I said, look, he goes, I don't have a job. I said, I'm okay. I make my money DJing. Let me come in and help you with the music. I know his shit. I'll be assistant music director. He goes, I'll be like an intern, like a 28-year-old fucking intern. I get your coffee, whatever you do. That's fine. So, and within 6 months, I became the music director of the greatest radio station ever.
Yeah,
it was pretty fucking amazing, bro. And I became Sonny Joe Light's music director, God bless his soul, which was by far, he changed the game. There would not be crossover, top 40 rhythmic. There would not be the kind of top 40 radio we used to have. We don't have anymore because radio fucking sucks right now. He was the guy that really, really did that, who taught us that you could play Donna Summer into Survivor, into Heart, into Sheena Easton, into Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and get a 10 share doing it.
Right.
And
amazing.
So it was pretty cool. And I was, and I had other guys I worked with, Frank Amadeo, Y100, me and Keith Naphtali was so tight. He was at KFSE, Colleen Cassidy and Mark Shands. We were the only people out there doing this in radio. We saw this whole dance thing coming. I was getting imports. I was sending them out. I mean, the Epic guy would come in with records and I'd fucking say, yo, those are all great. But let me show you something. And I play him on Virgin. I play him Do You Really Want to Hit Me by Culture Club. He goes, what's that? Why do I give a fuck? I said, this is going to come on Epic in about 4 weeks. I said, I'm adding it today. So call it in. And so you don't get in trouble, I'm going to add this one that you want too. I ain't going to play it. I'm not going to fucking play it.
But I'll put it.
I'll put it in, because then there was no BDS and BD. So give a fuck. You want to play? You want to play too? Oh, that's another 2,000.
Yeah, I'm playing it at 2 a.m.
So anyway, and we did that all day long. We did that at KISS with Thompson Twins and ABC, that British invasion in the 80s.
Oh, big.
Oh,
yeah.
my
that
God.
new wave thing coming in.
Yeah,
that's
whoa. Jesus,
big.
that music, amazing. It was, it was a sin what happened with the whole Steve Dahl thing and Comiskey Park, but that was all the record companies were behind that 100%. And I knew that at that point I said I was reinventing myself because I wanted to become a promotion guy and I wanted to get into the record business.
Right.
Which I did. But that definitely hurt us. And I was worried, what is going to happen next? And some of the greatest disco records of all time came out after that. 79, 80, 81. I mean, you got Lolita Holloway with The Love Sensation, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Jocelyn Brown. So there were a lot of great records. And I was saying, what's going to take its place? And it was Culture Club and ABC and those type of acts, and which was okay with me because those songs were just tremendous. I lost John Parker. I'm here on my own. What do you want to talk about? Let me throw my glasses. Let's see what you guys are writing. Who's out there? Cheryl High, John Home, Joe Hecht. Hey, Joe Hecht.
One second. There we go. We're back. Yeah, we froze.
Curtis. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we just kind of froze. Internet's been wacky here. It's been really windy. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. I kind of jumped in.
No, that was a great story, though. But let's say hi to John Homan.
Yes.
Joe Hecht is out there. Curtis Sabina.
Yeah.
DJ Kova, Tweak Music Tips. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Talk about a guy like Curtis who just fucking never said die. He has stuck with it, been with it, lives it, loves it, keeps it moving, and makes fucking great records.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's my boy. I love working with him with HOLA, you know, all the Heck too, all these guys.
Quark now.
Yeah, all of them, all these guys, these guys, all these, the legends of promotion have already been set in stone, John. There will be no more legends of promotion.
Yeah,
that ended in 2005. If you weren't a legend by 2005, 2010, you're never going to be a legend.
Yeah, no, it's
not promotion. It's not promotion anymore.
No.
All you're doing is fucking regurgitating information. How many people are getting ads because they have credibility? They don't give a fuck, and you don't have those programmers out there. Few exceptions. You got Orlando and guys like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Few and far between. Yeah.
Pop, there's good 20, 25 of them out there. Thank God for those guys, that at least give us a shot where they can,
Yes.
without looking at fucking stats and just saying, yo, there's a hot record,
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just good enough for them to like the record, because you have to understand they may like it, but they can't play because they got this shit they got to fucking deal with. Oh, what a mess. Someday totally radio different. Will go local again, JP, and we'll be okay. Deregulation ruined fucking radio.
Amen.
1986.
I said it as soon as it happened. I said, this is not going to be good for the industry. You saw companies gobbling up other companies, and it was like they're basically trying to do like a CBS, NBC, and ABC, one station across the country.
What sucks is it all happened in Boston. It started as Evergreen, Pyramid, and then it went to fucking Clear Channel. That's how it started. They fucking got that conglomeration with Richie Ball, built it, and bam. And and I knew, and then the independents, took a hit.
Yeah,
the good independents, the guys that made a difference, the Freddie DeCipios, the Jerry Brenners, the guys like that cared and made a difference. Just weren't there for a fucking goddamn paycheck,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Never asked you to compromise yourself. Those guys took hits, and the independents that took over after them, they're all fucking bean pounded. They didn't give a fuck. Is it fast or is it slow? Oh, what is that? Fuck that. Is it fast
Is it fast or slow?
Yeah.
That's great. Oh my God. Hey, what's up, Chuck Barrett? Bob Burke's listening in.
Come on.
There you
Bob
go.
Burke, one of the greatest of all time.
J. Dobby Amaro.
Oh, Dobby Joe.
There you go.
That's when we had the best radio in New York in years, is when Dobby and fucking Rick Thomas had now 92.3 going. That was a good sounding fucking radio station. Love KTU, love my boys there, but for straight top 40, nothing like that now 92.3 when those fucking boys had it going. That was a great sounding radio station.
Yeah. No, that's probably the last great one in New York. That wasn't like, they're already. D100, it's a different class. It's a different world.
You're talking completely different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Holy Grail. That's Holy Grail shit.
100%.
You don't leave that alone.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. So here's an interesting thing that I didn't know.
Yes.
So now you actually brought Craig Kalman's Big Beat Records into the Atlantic fold by introducing him to Doug Morris.
Yeah, it's a fucking great idea. Hire your own boss. How that works out. Young Jewish with the Brown University. What the fuck? I had no shot after that. I was the king of Atlantic for those fucking years. I brought in Robin S. I had the Bingo Boys. I broke in Vogue for Sylvia. I did everything I was supposed to fucking do. And I brought in Craig.
That was the end.
That was it. How can you get him on the fucking phone? Just kidding. I had begrudge. I had no ill feelings. The kid, you knew. It was my ex-wife, Dorothy Carvello, too. I have to give her credit. She introduced me to Craig. It all started with Tara Kemp. I wanted Tara Kemp.
Oh, yeah.
And Tara and somebody at Atlantic passed on it. I gave it to my wife, Dorothy, at the time, and she gave it to Irving Azoff. And he signed it. And that's how the whole relationship started. And then it just came. I wanted Jomanda. And I was bringing Craig in to meet Doug because I wanted Jomanda. Mm-hmm. And the day before, I looked at the whole picture and I said, you know something, Craig, let's go for a label deal. He goes, you sure? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to bring you in. I said, all I got to do is leave you alone with Doug for 15 minutes and it'll all be done. Good idea, Joey. There you go, buddy. How about sticking in your own ass?
Really? That was it.
I left him with Doug for 15 minutes. He came out and said, I'm the assistant to the chairman of the board. And the rest is history. Changed that label forever. I'm proud of that. It's more well-rounded. you know, and I still think it's the greatest label of all time. Out of all the, it wasn't, I loved working for Atlantic. I loved that family, you know. My biggest success came at TVT, but everything that happened for me in New York all started at Atlantic in 1989.
Right. And do you think that that love for that label came because of your love as a as a kid of that kind of R&B?
Come on. Listen, I can't walk you around the house, but I mean, Yes was my favorite band.
Yeah, I know.
And Buffalo Springfield. Those were my bands. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And I used to see this odd name on the back of the record. Amit Erdogan. What the fuck is an Amit Erdogan? Either you were Italian or Irish in my neighborhood. And that was it.
That was it.
That was a weird name to me. And I always saw that name over the years. And it just seemed like I was cream. I'm always buying Atlantic records. Columbia was pretty hard, but it just seemed like Atlantic just kept on fucking coming and coming. Of course, Motown, that was a separate stuff. And it's just that Aretha and Wilson Pickett. And I idolized Yes. And I got a job with Atlantic Records, and one of the first bands I had to go meet backstage
was
Yes. So I go backstage, I'm all excited, I'm pumped up, come on, boys, let's go. I go to the back, go backstage, fuck him, we hate those people's label fucking guys. Oh, the fuck, I'm kind of quiet and shit.
Where am I? I don't want to be here.
Next to me anymore, there, no. 25 years later, I'm in LA, I'm at the fucking Rainbow Room. Guy sits right next to me, fucking Chris Squire, comes over with a friend of mine. He said, I understand that you're a big fan. And I told my friend the story, he knew Chris, and he told Chris the story. He says, we did that to everybody. That night, I went out with him, his manager, went up to his house up in the hills and partied for like a day and a half.
That's great.
It all worked out. But Atlantic was my first label. It was my second label. It was my third label. I went there 3 different times. So obviously, I love the people that were there. And if you really want to have a snapshot of what Atlantic is about, if you read my ex-wife's book, Anything for a Hit, if I can say this in a good way, and I think that Izzy Sanchez would agree with me, it was a cult, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It was controlled a certain way, and you had a certain attitude where Columbia always had that elitist type of attitude, and we were just nasty, hardcore, no bullshit, go fuck yourself, I'll stab your mother to get an ad type of fucking company. That's how we were. But we did it with a smile, and we had great fucking records, and we took care of the people who took care of us.
Right.
Big time. Andrea Ganis, I think, is greatest of all time. If not, she's right up there. What she's done with that label. Oh, she's been there how long?
Yeah.
I think she fucking worked Happy Birthday. Yeah, I love you.
They chiseled it in stone.
Yeah. So yes, Atlantic was my I have.
That's great.
Love.
Hey, what's up, Brooke Gibson? Jeff Z. Jeff Z's here.
Oh, Z-Man. I've got stories about him too, but I won't tell them here.
So Curtis is asking Joey, remember I had to take over as GM at Big Beat for Craig when you guys groomed him? While you guys groomed him.
Yes, he was there with Heidi Joe Spiegel.
Heidi.
I do remember that. Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to get Big Beat. But that just didn't happen, so I moved on. Especially, it was Craig's label. At that point there, it became Craig's label.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to keep Mark Anthony. I signed Mark Anthony and Little Louie to Atlantic, and I wanted to keep Mark so bad. And Craig, he dropped them, and he didn't even tell me that he dropped them. I wanted to put them on Real Latina, and that would have been it. I would have worked on that for the rest of my fucking life and been okay. So at any rate, it is what it is.
There you go. Jeff said, "Go walk the dog." Joey while we're at dinner.
Fucking dogs. Where is he? Slinky, where are you, Slinky? Oh, look at this. Come here. Hold on. Here he is. Come here, baby. Come over. Say hi to everybody. Oh, who's my baby? Say hi to everybody. Say hello.
There you go. Hello, blends into the background, real dark there.
Here he is. Hello.
Nice.
Okay,
nice.
Get over there. He's sitting here watching me and listening to me.
That's great.
Bullshit.
Oh man, that's funny. So 1993 is a big year for you.
Yep.
Show Me Love, Robin S.
Wow.
How'd that come about?
Oh boy, we'll go back to Craig Coleman. This is stuff that I've never told this these truths before. So I was very close with Mel Medali from Champion Records in the UK. I had worked for Critique Records in Boston, and we had Ellie Hope with him. What's he got that I ain't got? And I created a relationship. Mel came to the States with Paul Oakenfold. Paul Oakenfold was his boy. He was grooming Paul, and the first American that Paul ever met was me. So I get to meet Paul, and you could tell back then that kid was going to be huge. So I had a relationship with Mel. Mel knew I was at Atlantic. He sends me Robin S. Show Me Love. I listened to that fucking record. I'm going, oh shit. Here we go. I said, this could be the biggest one. This could be my biggest one.
Right.
But I had some big ones. And I went to Craig, and Craig said to me, nah, just another number one dance record. I don't think so. I said, okay, no problem. So I called Mel up, send me 25 test pressings. Sent me 25 test pressings. I got 14 stations in the first fucking week. And they all showed up as ads. And Doug Morris, and they're saying, what is this fucking record?
Right.
What is this record? It says Champion Atlantic when it first came out, because I was calling on it, but I said, this ain't my record.
But it wasn't your record.
I was always selling records. I have right here, Gonna Make You Sweat, platinum single. And I was working at Atlantic, but I love that record so much, I sent out test pressings on that one, and I worked it. So I was a music guy at the end of the day. So be that as it may, I go back to Craig and Atlantic and they said, okay, I guess we'll sign it. And I just picked it up from there, and I never stopped.
That's wild.
It was pretty big.
Yeah, I think so. That's to this day, it's remade 100 times a week.
Yeah, 18 million views on YouTube. That's a lot.
That actually sounds like it's undercounted because
probably. Well, don't forget we didn't have Media Base when the Media Base. What really happened is the day that Media Base came out, the number one selling single at Atlantic, SoundScan came out. The number one selling single at Atlantic was Robin S. Show Me Love, and the number one played record in Atlantic was Show Me Love. When Media Base, I started working it, and they were like, whoa. So they jumped. They still hadn't jumped in. It was me and Steve Ellis, R.I.P. Rest of us. So we was the only guy in Atlantic who helped me with that fucking record.
Wow.
I was on my own. Doug left me on my own. When I went to Atlantic, Doug told me two things. Here's all you got to do. I want you to sign some records that don't have guitars in them, get them played at radio, and force those people to work them. And I want you to help Sylvia Rome. That was it. He says, you have unlimited budget. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Oh, wow.
You should not. They say somebody's saying that to me. What do you think?
I know what you're doing.
You know who I am. and I was wildly successful there. I had such an amazing time. Yeah, and Robin S. Show Me Love to this day is people still. It was like playing today. If you need a weak dance floor, you fuck up and you need a dance floor to come back, you don't have to play a Michael Jackson record. You can play Show Me Love by Robin S.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll pack the floor. And so does CC, and all those great house tricks. I love them all. I missed being a DJ, a house DJ, but I was really lucky to be able to sign a half a dozen number one house records. So
amazing. I mean, they're amazing records that still fill dance floors,
Yeah. It was, I was very lucky. I was just, I had good people around me that worked with me. I had good friends, and I steal balls. I didn't give a fuck. And maybe if I did, and maybe if I didn't do some of the things I did, it would have been a different outcome for me. Maybe I would have got Big B. That wasn't me, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
It's Curtis, all yours.
Shout out to Brenda K. Stars checking us out.
Oh my God, I love her. Always had a crush on her. Hi, Brenda.
It's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Bob Burke says Mark Anthony Ride on the Rhythm was an oh shit jam too.
Yeah, that was my favorite album.
I have that CD. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorites. Wasn't my favorite is Ride on the Rhythm, and when this all started when I was at WTG. I worked for Walter, Tommy, and Jerry's label at Sony, and I was doing A&R and promotion. And I wanted to get a remix on this record by the Eighth Wonder. I forget what it was. The lead singer was Patsy Kensit, a real bitch. And Yeah. She played Mel Gibson's girlfriend. They killed her in the second one. That series, Mel Gibson series. They fucking drowned her. Remember? They hated her on this movie so fucking bad. They killed her in the fucking second movie. They killed the bitch. You know. Anyways, so anyway, a guy worked for me, Tony Morales, said you got to talk to Louis Vega. Now I had been trying to get in touch with Louis Vega for years when I was at Critique Records. Would never fucking call me back. I mean, Jelly Bean's one of my buds. I could get him. Couldn't get Louis. So I finally called Jelly Bean, and Jelly Bean called Louis. Louis called me back. He said, first, so I want to apologize. He goes, I didn't know that you were a DJ. I thought you were just another promotion guy. I'm sorry. I said, we're good. And I asked him to do a remix on this, and he did, and we started talking and talk about music and talk about the Latin thing and what's different. And he says, I got something I'm working on called New York Soul. And this is before he was, I don't think Kenny had come in yet. I'm not sure. And I got this singer, and I said, oh, okay, send me the tape. And I heard Mark Anthony's voice. I went, shit, yeah, I'm really, really interested. So I go to Jerry Greenberg with it. Jerry goes to Tommy with it because it was a pretty big deal. It was a lot of money because Louis had told me he wanted to do, Tito Puente would play on it, Gato Barbieri would play on it, Sicilian John, everybody would play on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, that's big because I knew some of that funniest stuff as a DJ. I knew some of that funniest stuff. Tito Puente, I knew it. He's naming all these names. I said, okay. We had big price, and Tommy was thinking about it. While Tommy was thinking about it, Doug Morris called me, stole me from Jerry, and I brought everything to Atlantic with me. And that's how it happened. I left Louis alone to do this album because I knew that he was not going to, I said, all you got to do, Louis, is just give me one. Give me one that I can run up to number one and go get some radio records on. The rest of the stuff, be as creative as you want. We'll go to the WIA Latina. Maybe they'll get involved and they know who Mark is, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we got it done. And he gives me right in the rhythm unmixed. And I said, I need to mix. You need to mix it. He says, no, I want the Basement Boys to do it. And the Basement Boys were hot.
Yeah.
They were hot. They were on fire. And nothing going on with the rent. And they were just hot. I said, okay, not a problem. I said, prefer that you would. He said, I'm too close to it. I want them to do it. They did a mix for me. I got the mix. I called them in. I made them cry.
I have a feeling that's not the first time that's happened.
I was so upset because this was so personal to me. This was like the biggest thing I ever worked on. This was, and I brought it from LA, and it took us 3 years to make the fucking record.
Wow.
He was in the studio with Tito Puente, he was in like these big players, and he had Kenny in with him now. And there's another super crazy brain of music. And then he's got Todd coming in and doing a little bit of stuff. So all these mastermind maniac music guys, house guys, are putting a new spin on the whole fucking thing. So I left it fuck alone.
Yeah.
Then I got Louis in. I said, you're going to do the mix on this. I said, you fucking fought me on doing the mix on the Debbie Gibson record. I forget the Debbie Gibson record. I made them do for me. And it became one of their biggest dubs ever. It was Masters of Work dub, and Debbie Gibson is like huge. Anyway, you're going to do the mix. He went in and did the mix, and that's the Ride on the Rhythm that we got. We went number one, and I got about 30, 40 radio stations on it.
Nice.
Yeah. And the rest is history. Mark spun off to become, but I will always be able to say I gave Louis Vega and Mark Anthony their first number one records.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good story. Yep.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah. And we stayed close over the years, Louis and I. He played at my birthday a couple of years ago. We played 45s. You know, he's going to be doing some stuff with Tommy Boy.
Good.
On the remix side of the fence, and just a great guy. And it was an honor to work with him. And we still be friends now.
There you go. We have a question for you from Michael Dion. What's the biggest thing you missed from the time what's the most biggest thing you missed from that time in the recording industry or Atlantic Records? So back then, what's different now?
Is that really good pure cocaine. That's what it is. The good shit. You know what I mean?
They just don't make it like that anymore.
Yeah, I take a fucking Xanax and go to sleep and go to work the next morning. You know what I really miss is I miss the kind of promotion that we did in the 80s and the 90s. I really miss getting dressed up in costume or
Fun stuff.
This is what I'll tell you what I missed. I'm going to tell you a quick story, okay?
Sure.
Not that you asked me. A promotion guy, local guy in Boston named Don Masters, who worked for Polygram Records. At that time, John Ivy, one of the greatest, was program director at Kiss 108 in Boston.
Right.
And this was the night. It was a Monday. It was a music day, and this was the Monday after the Sunday that what's his name there? Fucking the magician dude. He made the 747 disappear.
David Blaine?
No. That other guy, the other one. Doc here. Come on, somebody help me out there. What was his name?
Copperfield?
Copperfield. Yeah. He made the 747 disappear. You remember that? I remember that. Okay. Well, I remember that. Oh, this is fucking young. So he's working. So Don Masters goes in. It's in the middle of fucking summer. 1,000 degrees out. He's working Ivy on a record, and Ivy, they've been talking about David Copperfield, and Ivy says, "You can make a 747 disappear before I add that record." Okay. And he was at a morning meeting. At 3:00 in the afternoon, a van pulls up, door opens in the back, and they pull out an ice sculpture of a 747. Put it in front of John Ivy's window, and it melted and disappeared. He got the fucking earth. That's what I miss. That's what I fucking miss.
You can't do stuff like that anymore. Just
no shit, Dick Tracy.
It's
can't even bribe him anymore. What a mess.
Now, what I love is back then also there was a camaraderie of promotion people.
We all shared, John.
You know what I mean?
I had a dinner at Sambuca. There were 7 different fucking labels there. I had radio,
and then you build someone else.
I had dance radio. I had crossover radio. I was the dance guy that had the radio relationship. That's the bottom. I don't care. All the dance guys that are out there, you all know that Joey Carvello forced all of you, and I said it in a new music seminar, I said it, do not depend, all you major label kids, and I said it in front of, and I said Andrea again is staring at me, I said all of you, just hear me, do not depend on your label to help you with dance music. Get the fuck out there, make your own relationships, and get your own shit played at radio, because they're never going to do it for you.
Right.
And they did. And I shared my relationships with everybody. I was like the Godfather. I shared my relationship. I had the police. I had the fucking politicians.
Yeah.
So, yes, we had a camaraderie. We all worked together. We loved each other. Joe Hecht will attest to that. Jeff Z will attest to that. Yeah. Guys, I can't see, I have my glasses on, but whoever else from back in the day, you know how it was. We all hung out together. You know what I mean? Somebody needed to go number one.
You helped out.
And you were there, and they made a call, say, do me a favor. I only have one chance to get in this week. Yeah, okay, I'll empty it out. Go ahead.
Right.
And we did that.
Yeah.
Today?
That's crazy. So Curtis wants me to really grill you on these dinners you guys used to have.
God, it was, but it was great. We go to a place called Sambuca. It was across from the Dakota, up west side. And it was a place Johnny Capola had turned me on to many, many years ago before I got to New York. Unfortunately, it was still there. And the owner of the restaurant, very famous brother, and we go there, and Leslie West would show up, and that was his brother ran the restaurant, and Phyllis Cavallari would show up from the Rascals, and there was always something going on there. And when I had a dinner, we rang the bell, and that was it. And $2,000-$3,000 tabs. Everybody got fucked up. Everybody ate well, and everybody got ads.
Yeah.
We all got ads. Everybody knew each other artists. They knew my artists. I knew their artists. We all shared.
Yeah.
We shared.
That was good times back then.
It was a great time. It was a great time.
Yeah. So you also did some time at Sin working with Vince.
Well, you didn't really work with Vince. You worked for Vince. But yeah, I went there. After I left Atlantic, I went over to Sin, and Vince was Sin was a strictly dance chart promotion company, and Vince wanted to get into radio, and I thought it was a good move for me to go over there and bring radio to Sin, which I did, and we had a nice little run, and Tony Monty and I really did a lot of stuff together on the magazine side.
Right.
The CD was something I kind of like developed, based on the Hitmaker CD. And, but, then Jelly Bean called me up. Plus the fact that fucking Vince charged me for toilet paper. On top of all that. At the end of the year, I'm going, what the fuck is this? pencils, toilet paper, erasers, the fucking cleaning fluid. What the fuck?
That's great.
Because I was working for Champion at the same time as Vince, so Vince was charging me fucking rent for being there for Champion.
That's so funny.
He always found a way.
Yeah, that's great.
That was fun. But then Ola Jellybean called me up. My friend, a dear friend Jellybean called me up and asked me to come to Ola, and we had a big hit with that Voices of Theory record over there. So
yeah,
that was had fun at Sid. That was a lot of fun.
I got to reach out to Jellybean too to be on. I haven't done that yet, but I definitely need to talk to him.
He's got great stuff.
I
won't tell the stories.
I'll make him tell it.
We did. So you need to say, JB, tell me about the time you and Carvello went to Phoenix. That's all you got to know.
That's all you got to know there.
All you got to know, just say Phoenix.
When did you have, what was it, album of the year?
When was that?
Song of the year? What?
I got label of the year. Was it 93? The year for Robin S. I got label of the year, song of the year.
Okay.
I would have got it the following year too. There's no doubt about it. But fucking crybaby fucking Carrie Vance. Yeah, I hear you. You're out there. I know you are. Where are you? He went to Billboard. I was doing East, West, ACO, and Atlantic. I mean, I was doing promotion for all three, and he only had Virgin. And if he just went Atlantic against Virgin, he beat me by like 2 points. But if you brought in East, West, and ACO, I beat him by like 50 fucking points.
Right, because you're a company, yeah.
But he was so, I don't want to say whiny, but I was like, if I wanted to, I spent a lot more money at fucking Atlantic had a lot more juice than fucking Virgin at Billboard. All I had to do was make one fucking call Doug Aramic, and they would have called Billboard. I would have got it. But Carrie he just wanted it so bad. And why should I deny him? He had some of my favorite, Back to Life. He had some of my Virgin, some of my favorite records.
Great records.
Yeah. So you got it, Carrie. You owe me a fruit basket, motherfucker.
The fruit's a little rotten by now.
But hey, listen, you pick a more passionate guy, you're not going to find one.
No. Anyway. And that's what a lot of the promoters back then had, was passion about the music. I think now for a lot of these guys, it's just a job,
I mean, what is it when you can't walk into a fucking program director and bend them over the fucking desk and get an ad unless you got stats? What the fuck are we doing here?
Right.
You can't walk into a guy, hey, I was right on this one, and this one, and you told me no. You're going to tell me no again? Yeah, I am. Why? Because you don't have this stat, that stat, and this stat.
Yeah.
Up on Google,
You don't have streams, which are actually the radio's competition, which doesn't make sense.
But somebody is going to get smart. Somebody's going to get smart. One of these smaller companies, whether it be Flynn Broadcasting or fucking Journal or one of these guys, going to get smart. And they're going to localize radio. They're going to localize it. And when that fucking happens, that wheel will fucking turn. And they got to do podcasts too. They've got to go. They've got to be able to see these guys live.
Yeah.
You got to put some entertainment in the studio. I know when I worked at Kiss 108, we had entertainment in the studio 24/7. We were flying without a goddamn net back then. There was always something interesting going on beyond the morning show,
Oh, yeah.
We were crazy 24/7.
Yeah. No, everyone had personality, which is totally missing today. It's like read the card and then you're done. Next.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It is what it is.
I hear you. Robert Scott Stone asks, Joey and John, what in your opinion, is the biggest record of the 80s? Cultural, not promotional. That's a good question. I have no clue. I've never really thought of music in the cultural sense as being, big or, So.
I mean, it's tough to pick one. You're going to pick a U2 record, somebody's going to, probably pick something by U2. But if you look at the big picture, I mean, when I look at the big picture, the set of their work total, I look at Culture Club. I look at Thompson Twins. I look at ABC. I look at those acts they had They had 3-4 hits in a row. Look at the Go-Go's. Great fucking records. Look at the Police. Yeah, there was a lot. 80s was great. 80s to me was. We kept the disco vibe. We kept the feeling. We kept the up-tempo-ness. We kept the good songs. We kept the fun, really good songs extended into the 80s. It's in the 90s when things started getting really fucking tough.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. Just thinking about that though, and Curtis had mentioned "Let the Music Play," but that triggered one in my head. Culturally, what about Planet Rock, which launched freestyle? You know,
how about Colonel Abrams?
Yeah.
What about Trapped? And there was a plethora of amazing music in the 80s. I DJ'd. I was lucky. I got really hot in the 80s, and I worked at really amazing clubs in Boston. 86, I moved to New York. I was there. I moved to LA. I was there for 3 years. From what people tell me, I had a really good time. But I got to play all those records, which was great.
Yeah. Shout out to Tony T. Tony T is listening in. All right, so we did that. We went to HOLA Records, right? And from HOLA, you went to Priority, which you just said before was your biggest success.
Well, my biggest was TVT, but don't forget, I was Champion.
Oh, TVT, okay.
And don't forget, I had Champion.
That was after that.
I wanted to talk about Champion just a little bit.
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Let's just run it down. I'm not an EDM guy. Everybody knows that. I wasn't a fan. But I had one of the very first EDM #1 records, Salvo Mia by Faithless. That was mine. Christine W. was mine. Then I had Frankie Farrell, I Need Your Love. That was pretty fucking EDM. I mean, Champion, Rolo just came one after the other. I signed Sandy B, Make the World Go Round. I signed a couple of the Champion, but Champion was fun because of Christine. And Christine, there was a lot of people involved in Christine. I was the one who found her, signed her, got a singles deal at East West, and Peter Albertelli and Carmen Cacciatore kind of took over. But at the end of the day, it was Junior Vasquez who broke her. That was the guy who broke her. He broke her wide open. That's why he did so many mixes on her. But she was a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
For Priority, that was crazy because I'm a dance guy. I'm a disco dance guy. And all of a sudden, I mean, I saw the writing on the fucking wall. You got to get into this hip hop thing, Joe. You may not. I think I can get this stuff played. I said, but the first thing you do is don't make believe you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly. That's the wrong thing to do. With Profile, I knew not to do that too.
Yep. It was, and I got to Priority. Johnny Capola brought me to Priority, and things worked out where I took the thing over. I was the head of promotion there on the crossover and Top 40 side. Liz Montalbano, of course, Gary Morella had that place rocking. I just took it to a whole different level on the East Coast. Snoop never got New York. He did with me.
Right.
Cube never got New York. He did with me.
That was a big thing back then because it was, you could get, and again, I worked a lot of the West Coast stuff. So I had from California all the way to about Pennsylvania, and you just couldn't get that Northeast corridor. They wouldn't touch that stuff.
Well, I mean, the way it happened with fortunately, Tracy Clarity was at Hot 97. We were very, very good friends, and every other time Snoop had come to New York, either nobody approached Hot 97 or they got shut down. But Trace said yes. But the way it really took off for me with Snoop was it's called disco. So I get to Priority, and as far as I meet Snoop, holy shit, boom, 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 Snoop. But to him, I was just another white guy, freaking hip hop.
Right.
And I kind of, we kind of started talking a little bit, and he asked me, I told him I'm a DJ, I was an old disco DJ. He talked about some old soul record. I said, I was a disco DJ. I played that. He goes, he goes, I used to listen to that disco stuff with my mom drinking 40s. He says, you got any Willie Hutch? And I just ran down every Willie Hutch record. And that was it. And it was cool. And so I wanted to come to New York. And I told him, I'm going to fly in about 25, 30 programmers from the East Coast. We're going to do a big thing. You're going to come in 2 hours, say hi. Going to close all those stations on the East Coast, including New York. And in the morning, you're going to be on Hot 97. Wasn't sure he wanted to do it. He said, okay. He said, I'll give you 2 hours. He said, I'll give you from 10 to 12. Okay, no problem. So I went out to Sony Studios. I go there day of the promotion, and there are red curtains everywhere. Now, I don't know much, but I know one thing.
Red and blue.
He's a Crip. We had them, and it took them we just made it within 10 minutes before we opened the doors to change all those curtains, that whole room to blue, which we did. Snoop Shows up at about 10:30. I have everybody there, and he's still very skeptical. He's got his guys around him. Get in there, and I start introducing him, and I start doing the Joey Carvello show. Well, at 6 o'clock in the morning, he's finishing up playing dice with the fucking help, and we're on our way. And we're on our way to Hot 97.
Right.
From that point on, I had ran at the stoop. I mean, we stayed close and did everything I wanted. When I got the TVT, we had 213 on TVT, and Snoop was in 213.
Mm-hmm.
So when he came, that was it. He didn't want to talk to anybody. He just told us. He told Nate and Redman, whatever he says, just do. You know what I mean? And we went on the road for like 3 days, which was good. So yeah, about Cube was different. Cube was very standoffish. I couldn't get the same limousine with him. We did a huge promotion for him down in Miami at Smith and Walensky's. About 100 people showed up for that. It was during a winter music conference at one of those conventions.
Yeah.
And I was backed that ass up. It was the biggest record he ever had. It went top 10 on the rhythm charts. It was like a number 1 on the crossover charts. And he just loved it. He took pictures with about 40 or 50 people. So did Snoop, 40. And he signed. I went out to LA, and I gave Q a stack this big. And he sat there and he signed every single fucking one.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So Priority was a lot of fun for me. You know, it was like I said, but like I said, I didn't know the lingo. I didn't know the handshakes. I didn't know shit, but I knew how to get them playing.
Yeah. And look, I in dealing with a lot of the West Coast rappers when I was at Profile again, it was just be normal to them. You know what I mean? Don't treat them any different. And it was cool. I had great times with Quick on the Road and Second to None and all those guys. It's,
I forgot about them. Wow. Damn.
If you want it.
Yeah, Jesus.
So TVT, you moved to TVT after Priority. You got Pitbull, Little John, Yin Yang Twins.
Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature was there.
With SWV, we had that top 10. It was their first top 10 record in 8 or 9 years. But the problem over there at TVT was that Steve just, he was so litigious. He was so difficult to deal with that we couldn't get single rights. And there was on the Naughty by Nature album, there was a track with Pink. That was the number 1 record. And there's a track with Maroon 5. That was another one. I couldn't get the single rights.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest problem. Other than that, I had a blast at TVT.
Yeah.
I mean, look what we covered. I remember when I first got Little John, I sent it out. I remember this. There were 87 guys in the panel. 55 guys told me, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
Yeah, I love when that happens.
And I was, I guess, no. I said, I know. And I forget what convention it was. And I was still at that. I only had like 15 to 20 stations. Wherever it got played, it was hot. And I got up, and somebody in Orlando had said, "Yo, he's got a record." That Little John is fucking real. He had a little buzz. And I said, "Look, here's how it's going to go. I see you. I know who the fuck you are, and I know where you fucking live. I'm going to surround you. I'm going to starve you out. Then I'm going to come in. I'm going to grab you by your fucking ear and pull you out of your tent one at a fucking time. Every single one of you motherfuckers will add this record, and it will go number 1. By the end of that day, I had another 15 stations. And I thank Orlando, because Orlando, he's the one who set me up on that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And we needed about 100 more Orlandos, by the way.
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Can you imagine trying to do that today, though? Going in there, no, you're all going to play this.
Oh, I fucking know. And I remember it was fucking hysterical. It was, I wasn't laughing though. I was dead fucking serious. I'm coming to get you. And then after that, I never heard no. I mean, yin yang, yeah, okay. People.
We're down.
I got everything I put on. I got played. They weren't all hits, but they all got a shot.
Yeah, that's all you can ask. Give me a shot.
We had great records at TVT. Like I said, Steve Gottlieb was very difficult to deal with. Wasn't very popular. He's very litigious, but working with a guy who just really, he didn't do his meds, you're in trouble. And he didn't do his meds a lot. We did unbelievable. We broke every record. There was not an independent label in a 5-year period who has, to this day, has more spins than TVT had during the BDS and BD bass eras.
Wow. Didn't he invent something like a flip-top cassette thing or something?
Disposable earth fucking friendly cot. I forget what it was. It was a big bust. But his family owned the patent in the United States for blow-up furniture. And they made a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
they had tchotchkes and that type of stuff. Steve's a very smart guy. He went to Harvard Business School. He was just, I was probably the only guy in the building that got on with him, but I also almost threw him out a window once. And that's when I resigned. I said, if I don't leave, I'm going to kill this fucking guy.
There you go. So now you leave there and you start your own company.
Yes, we go out there. We go independent. Ellen starts Carvello Music Management, and I go out and I do upstream, and I do my independent thing. I only work for unsigned artists and independent labels. I don't do anything for anybody else. I've done well enough in my life to be able to be more selective, and I wrote my book, and I'm ready to go. I will continue to work for independent and unsigned artists, but I really think my next step is going to go into getting my book turned into a film.
Yeah, let's talk about the book, because I know you started writing that a while ago, and it was
9 years.
9 years now. You know, and you've got a massive like Facebook group that revolved around what the book title was.
And I changed it. It's not That's Disco Before Trouble. It's called The Boston Hustle now. So we're going to change it to Boston Hustle. And yeah.
So tell me about this movie thing. Like, what is it? Something you're working on, or?
Yes, I got a call from a friend of mine who I work for at Priority, and he had done a lot of work on Cube's movie soundtracks, and he did a lot of placement in movies for Priority Records. And he had called me about, and I mean, I do pretty well making a living at finding these guys that are 85 years old with a 35-year-old girlfriend who thinks she can sing. Send them to me all day long. I get you 20 fucking plays and overnights, and the chick's off his ass. Look, you get your record played, okay, and he gets laid until he's dead.
Right.
So he's calling me with one of those, and the record was horrible, and I passed on it.
Okay.
And then he said, and then I said, what are you doing? And he told me he made a few films with Hulu. He made a couple of films with Netflix. He's doing some film stuff. So really, I got a book I'd like to send you. I send it to him. And 48 hours later, he called me back because I want it. What do you mean I want it? He goes, I want to represent you. We need to turn this into a screenplay. It's a better movie than it is a book, but we can release the book later. Okay. And that was about a year ago. And it took us about 2 months ago. I found the first person that I was very comfortable with writing it for me, kid from San Francisco. And my problem was I couldn't figure out the ending for the book. I wanted kind of an open ending that could take me as a Kiss Runaway to Atlantic Records. And this guy came up with the ending. And we'll tell you what it is. He came up with the ending. I was very impressed. It was supposed to be a 20-minute call. It was 2 hours later. So, okay, he's working on it.
Okay.
And then I get a call from Bruce Sedano, Donna Summer's husband. And
Brooklyn Dreams?
Yes, Brooklyn Dreams. Yep. Music, Harmony, and Rhythm, my favorite record of all time. And Bruce and I stayed very close. I was very good friends with Donna, too. And they're doing a documentary about Donna, kind of like a Ken Burns type of thing.
Oh, cool.
His daughter, Brooklyn, and this guy named Ross Williams something, he won the Academy Award for his documentary about the Apollo. And they wanted me to it's just an oral thing. Pictures.
Okay.
Tell us a story about Love to Love You Baby. We heard that the guy behind it. So we're going to take about 20 minutes. 3.5 hours later,
wow.
I sent her the book, and once they finish this, they want to start on that. And then just about Monday, I got a call from my partner that a writer who is wired in with Affleck, Wahlberg, and Damon production company wants to take a shot at it. So, wow. And that's going to cost some money. But that's okay. You know what I mean? So we're going to do it, and hopefully in the next 2 years, my guy is so wired in with all these people that I'm very confident that we're going to make a movie. And again, now that you have Universal making movies, music movies too, it could be an avenue there. But I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to do it.
Good. That's great.
It's a combination of Saturday Night Fever and Goodfellas.
There you go. You can't go wrong with
that. It's a lot of fun, and it's really raw and tells the real story. This is in Studio 54. This is 1972 to 1979. This is the raw, real, honest story. Yes, about how the lifestyle first and then the music came second. And I wrote about that and the desegregation and how people understand how disco desegregated us socially. Before disco, there were black clubs, white clubs, Hispanic clubs, lesbian clubs, gay clubs.
Right.
That was it. Nobody crossed over. Disco came. It took a couple of years, but in '76, all of a sudden, they all started getting together. Like a Sunday night in Boston was, at Boston, it was a gay night, but a lot of straight people went, and all of a sudden, it was a 50-50 room. And, disco, all of a sudden, you look at disco and you're looking, these people are the same as I am.
Yeah.
This is 74, 75, 76. Black was all into the same thing. We're all here trying to do the same thing. We're all here trying to fucking dance, enjoy the music, get high, and get laid. And it really desegregated us socially. It really did. It wasn't anything else that brought us all together like that. Music did it, and that music did it. So.
Yeah, a lot of people don't look at that because that's totally true. I mean, when you think about that, it brought everyone from all different backgrounds together just for a night of just freedom and enjoyment and not having to worry about I'm not supposed to like you because you're this, and I'm not supposed to like you because you're that.
It's 9 to 5, and we come alive.
There you go. Oh, that's great.
It was you're a postman, you're a fucking clerk in a store during the day, and you're Tony Manero at night.
Right.
And I don't know how we did it, but we did it. We worked all night. I had a friend of mine, Michael Chaffee, God bless his soul. This guy partied every fucking night with me at week, went crazy, for years. Fucking passed the bar, and the first time he was an incredibly successful lawyer.
Wow.
And he did it. And he went to school between 76 and 80. So he was fucking in the middle. And he did it. He became a lawyer. I don't know how my friends that I didn't have to work during the day. I worked at night, but I did have a day job here and there. I have a few days that never worked out. But I was working at Kiss 108 during the day. But Lucky Sonny was out with me late at night, so he knew what I was going to be late in the morning.
Right.
So it was fun. It was.
You were a part of that 9 a.m. crew.
Yeah. No, I most certainly wasn't. I stayed up the whole night.
There you go. Bruce Reiner dropped in.
And that never happened.
There you go. Really? Oops. Wait, Bruce Reiner says,
"Hey, Rhino.
Paul Oakenfold, only person to drink milk with sushi."
Really? Jesus Christ. I didn't teach him that. That's for sure. There's a legend right there.
Oh yeah.
Reiner, that's a legend. Like I said, all the legends are already out there. No more legend.
Well, that club's closed.
That club is closed. All gone. And you don't have to do it for 30 fucking years to be a legend. Trust me.
No, just do the right thing.
Absolutely. Then make some hits. Make people remember you. Make people want to see you.
100%. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So now, pre-pandemic, you were still keeping the DJ thing alive by doing this thing you called Mobile Mondays.
Yes, 45s only. We only play 45s.
Tell me about it.
Michael M's Green. I've been doing this little thing. I forget the name of the place called Glass on 23rd and 10th. Playing some vinyl with a guy named Mike Cosick. Mike Cosick? Yeah, he's a great DJ. I played some vinyl, and one night Karen Raitt was there, and her husband came in, Michael Green, and Michael is the DJ, and he saw me playing 45s, and he lost his fucking mind. He goes, I don't see anybody play 45s. I love 45s. I got to come play. So he came and played with me one night, and he said to me, I'm working on something. I'm going to call you. About 2 years went by, and he called me, and we started Mobile Mondays and playing 45s only. It's been 9 years now, and we've had the greatest DJs in the world play there, from Louis to Jelly Bean to Rakim. Wow. I mean, bro, Pharrell. I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
I'm there one night, and Blaze, Just Blaze, Jay-Z, Beyonce's producer, he's one of our residents. I didn't know it was Just Blaze. For the first 2 years, I thought he was Just Blaze. I had no idea.
The guy,
I had no idea he was Just Blaze. I used to break his fucking balls. And then he had said to me, I bet you don't know this fucking record. And he puts on Spilling the Beans by Jelly Bean. And I said, take a look at the executive producer. Man, he goes, man, I love to produce some records like this. I got to get Jay to do something like this with me. I said, Jay who? Jay-Z. I said, oh my God, you're Just Blaze. He goes, yeah. Oh, I thought you were Just Blaze. Just Blaze, So anyway, he's there. One night, I'm in the back, and I see this hat coming through the crowd. And I take a look. Pharrell came by to see Blaze.
Okay.
we're playing 45s. 4 weeks later, he puts Happy on a yellow 45 and sells about 50,000 of them in 2 weeks. At fucking
Oh, wow. See?
He made more money on the 45 than he did on the fucking stream situation. Everybody comes by. Everybody plays there. I've had Davey D and John McMahon. Record company guys are always invited to play. I play there with John. Johnny D is one of my guys. Natasha Diggs, who is just, she got 21,000 views on Instagram. We have Misbehavior, who got 24 million views on YouTube on her video.
Right.
We're playing records. So we have an amazing crowd. Money Mike, also. It's a wonderful family. It's a small club. It's a hole in the wall. You're going to hear the best music of your life. Sometimes when we do big events, we do it downstairs. We did a salsa event, and I got one after the other as I DJ'd. I got up to perform. Started with Instant Funk, to Carol Williams, into Joe Baton, into Sky, into Double Exposure.
Wow.
All came up on stage.
That's great.
The song that I played.
That's wild.
And we had that type of thing.
That's fun.
Nicky Ciano debuted his movie about the gallery with us, and he DJ'd with us.
Cool.
It's really Louis still talking about it. He just did a post the other day about the day he played 45s at Mobile Mondays. Still talking about it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And once we get reopened, everybody's got to come by because you'll just have a great time and great crowd. And our crowd has gotten younger and younger over the years.
Okay.
We're also doing, we were doing the Plaza by Madison Square Garden. They close off 34th Street between 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
And we had 2,000 people out there.
Wow.
From 6 to 9 at night, every Thursday night, going fucking batshit. We were moving around Manhattan. We get the Museum of New York City we've done a half a dozen times. So once we get back up and running, everybody's invited. Come by, and it's 100% authentic, and it's all 45s, and just wonderful, delicious, great people.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now, where you find the 45s nowadays?
I eBay, auctions, Funk You. I find them. My thing right now is I'm buying a lot of sealed albums. Like behind me, I've got about 300 sealed disco dance, just like pristine.
Right.
Collection together of that type of stuff. A lot of the blacks. Cool. I'm a big fan of blaxploitation. So getting those is really tough sealed, but I'm starting to find those now. But 45s, I'm always buying. I'm always buying something. There's new stuff coming out, new house, new disco. A lot of great stuff coming out that I love, like The Vision, Heaven last year. What a great record. I thought that could have been the one that could have kicked the doors open for us here in the States. But that will happen. That will happen this summer. Somebody's going to come up with that. And I personally think it's going to be fucking Craig Coleman and Harsh Gorelli with Alex Newell on Big B. Because
Alex, great.
Yeah, that fucking record that he had, Turn Off the Lights, from the vinyl TV series on Showtime, that should have been a hit record. But, but they had 21 Pilots to put number one, so there was no room for it.
Right.
Even though KTU wanted to do it, Rob wanted to do it, Bartel wanted to do it, Hollywood wanted to do it. But
everyone's there.
The 21 Pilots had to go number one, and I missed my opportunity. Anyway, I think she's going to be the one. I think it's going to be Coleman or it's going to be Curtis. One of the fucking two, because Curtis has come this fucking close a couple of times.
Keep grinding, Curtis.
Right? Curtis or Coleman, one of the fucking two.
There you go. Beautiful. Now, have you done? I mean, I know you were doing some live streaming on Facebook in the beginning of the pandemic, and
I'm back. I'm going to start.
Where?
I'm going to do it right from my house.
No. What channel?
Oh, I'm going to do. I'll do Instagram.
Do Twitch. Twitch.
And I've done Twitch. I've had such a tough time with, but I've got a second system, so I'm going to do both.
Okay.
When I'm on the other. But what I've done is I've run down. I've redone all my sound. Everything's directed to the board. I've got a whole light. I moved my son out. Enough. I moved him downstairs to his own apartment. I took his room, and it's amazing. And probably in 2 weeks, I'll let everybody know, I'm going to do a tribute to the 50th anniversary of Philadelphia. And do an all Philly set, because Philly and South Soul, that's my thing.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So look up this thing called StreamYard. That's what I use here. And I send it out to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
What is it? What is it?
It's a web-based thing where you can play, you put everything into your streaming computer, and it'll send it out to the 3 different branches. So you'll be on all 3 channels at once.
Really? Could you do me a favor? Send that
I will. I'll hook it up to you.
Oh, yeah, hook it up,
I mean,
please.
there's a free version. I pay $25, a month.
Yeah.
So
no, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to get Facebook. You know, I'll give you fucking.
You can, yeah.
I'll give you $10. Let me play for 3 hours. Leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. The music industry is missing the boat big time here. If they would just let DJs buy licenses to stream, they'd be pulling money in left and right, but they won't do it.
You know why, John? I'm going to tell you why. Nothing's changed. They
No.
fucking hate us. They don't want to have somebody have control of records getting played at radio because somebody's watching Louis Vega or Joey Carvello or somebody else playing a record. Oh, wow, I like that. What is that? Boom, Shazam, boom. Put that in tomorrow in the mix show. That happens, the record companies will lose their fucking mind because they lose control.
Yeah.
The only thing they can lose control is dance music. You know, hip hop they have no control because the artists control that anyway.
They never had control of that.
That's fucking hip hop. You know, that's not. I don't give a fuck who you are. Since Def Jam and those guys back in the day, I'm talking about the mid '80s and the '90s. They did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the artists control. But since then, the artists really fucking control that situation. And the record company's afraid to have somebody outside sorts controlling stuff again. They hate for us to come back. Trust me when I tell you.
They don't want the boat rocked.
No.
I saw it with internet radio. You know what I mean? I saw what they were trying to do by charging per listener, per song. And it was like, they would just wanted to drive more people out so they didn't have to keep statistics and track of all the money coming in.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, they were able to charge bigger places and drive everyone else out. That's why I got out of internet radio. It's just like, that's crazy.
It is, you know, so, but, you know, like I said, just going to take one hit, just takes one, kicks the doors open. We need to brighten up radio. It's a yawn. It really, really is. It's just so horrible. You know, it's just too bad.
No,
A&R guys, I feel bad for A&R guys because they can't A&R the way they want to A&R. Those old school A&R guys are all leaving anyway. You know?
I couldn't find anything in A&R, and I signed big records. It's like
there's no fucking A&R anymore. What the fuck is that? That's gone.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing for A&R. You know what they're doing? They're looking at TikTok. They're looking at TikTok.
Exactly. Another fucking. So we need another one of those. You know?
It's totally insane. All right, so no, it was great having you on, Joey. I really appreciate you coming in here, man. It's
Well,
I'll talk for another 2 hours. I gotta have you back here because
sure.
You know,
I'll come back in here anytime. Let me have it for sure when it's time to really I can talk about the book and tell you some really great stuff. And and I'll send it to you so you can see it.
Can't wait.
The next level. Oh, wait till me, John. Wait till I get back to work and we'll fucking maybe do a live fucking broadcast right from Mobile Mondays. Let's go.
Yeah, no, you absolutely can, without a doubt.
Come on, bring the camera, put it right up on top, and let's go. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, we put on a show.
Right. Well, without a doubt.
Thank you for everybody who's said hi. I don't have my glasses. So I know you're there. No,
no, it was definitely fun. And like I said, I have so many more questions for you, but we can do that another time. But I really appreciate you.
You gotta come over to see the Batman collection, Parker.
I know, you know, and that's the other thing. He's one of the most generous guys. I mean, like he knows that I was a Batman fan, and you know, actually, me and a friend of mine were attempting to write the episode guide, and my friend went to a convention and saw someone else had done it already. So I have a book that's the guy says, "I beat you to it," you know. And then Joey just was going through his collection and whatever, making some room maybe. And he was like, hey, I know Parker likes this. And he sent me a movie theater, kind of one of those little cards that they used to have in the movie theaters. And I still have it. I'm waiting for, you know, to move into my own house and frame it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Parker, if you come here, you'll probably walk away with some more stuff too. You have no idea. You got to see
I know.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And let's do this again.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody who listened, thank you very much.
All right. Love you, Joey. I'll talk to you soon.
JP. Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye. So that was Joey Carvello, a wonderful, wonderful guy. And definitely we got to keep in touch with him because his book, his movie, all his projects that he's working, totally incredible. Right now, I am going to attempt to raid out, and I don't know if Jay Dobby is on. This is for all the Twitch people. Let me see if I got Jay on here because I don't see him on right now. So why don't we just go and raid into the Baker Boys, DJ Vice, Scam. Well, you know what? How about some New Jack music? How about we raid into DJ Nick Styles? So let me try to do this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so Nick is here. And we can start the raid. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Not sure who next week's guest is, but we'll have someone special for you. That's for sure. Next Thursday, 7 p.m., same time. I may do a pop-up show sometime this week because I haven't done one in a while. But, it was great having you. Thank you all for coming out. And I really do appreciate you supporting the channel and helping make me an affiliate for Twitch. Until next week, take care as we raid out. Okay, and I think we are rating in 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so I guess we can raid now. And so we are rating. Thanks, everyone.